frying donuts quickly became a dangerous disaster. Hello and welcome to Jackson's Job. This is a little different than my typical videos, but I hope you'll stay with me until the end. Years ago, I promised to show you my mistakes in baking and how to fix them. Unfortunately, you can't always fix your mistakes and you have to recognize that you have limitations. And this is where I'm at today. When I started this channel many years ago, I was recovering from a mysterious virus. This sickness took away my ability to move much of my upper body, stole my voice, and the simplest of tasks became insurmountable. During this time of recovery, I watched a lot of baking shows to pass the days. When I was told I could start moving again, I made the most lopsided and saddest looking, but it was a tasty cake. It was wonderful despite its flaws because it was a sign I was indeed getting better. With this mindset, I decided I was going to tackle the world's most difficult cookie, the macaron. For some reason, the macaron became a symbol of hope for me. And for months, I tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed to make this finicky little cookie. Macaron Maggie had earned her nickname by this time because she was by my side, day in and day out, happily eating my mistakes. And with that, an idea began to form, a dream of sorts. As I grew stronger physically, I began to document my progress of the macaron. It was a website that was intended for my service dog Jackson, but I stopped writing about him long before I started. This was unfortunately due to being bullied after a meme was created mocking us. I suppose you can be disabled and downright mean at the same time. Maybe it is from the despair of dealing with chronic health issues that sours some people and hardens their hearts. I really don't know. I do wish those that caused me many tears those years ago peace, and I have to thank them because they played a role in my emotional healing. Anyway, it only seems fitting that his website became a journal for me. After all, it was just sitting there. By recording my mistakes, I could look at what led up to them. I learned that anyone could write a recipe if they understood the basic formulas of baking, and this caused me to start looking at each recipe for commonalities or differences. In the end, I ended up creating my own recipe based on the original French macaron formula and what I learned about meringues along the way. Months down the line, I accomplished what I thought would never happen. I made the perfect macaron. It was the most amazing feeling to go from immobile and speechless to whispering, "I did it," grinning ear to ear. My speech therapist was encouraging me to practice my vocal exercises and saw me break down one day. When I told her about all my insecurities, she was absolutely amazing. She told me something along the lines of, "What other people think about you isn't your concern." She pushed me to believe in myself. So I went home that day and I decided I was going to set up a YouTube channel and improve my website with the help of some dear friends. I never thought this would go anywhere. I knew that my limitations would always be a hindrance, and it was so scary. But I started to tell myself, no one's going to watch this anyway. This is for you now. This is about healing. And hey, maybe one day you might help someone along the way. So you may be asking yourself, what exactly does this have to do about donuts? Well, sometimes in life you make mistakes and you can't fix them. And it's all right to acknowledge that you cannot. It is fine to know your limitations in life, whether it be in the kitchen or any situation you find yourself in. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to admit defeat, and deep frying apparently is mine. Hey, deep fried food isn't really that good for us anyway, so maybe there is a bright side. With my physical disabilities, it has become downright dangerous, and I cannot in good conscience show you how to make donuts when I can't safely make them. It would be so irresponsible of me to push through this pain and try to show you how. Hot oil went spraying all over the walls, counters, floor, backsplash, even the stovetop. You can see a small part in the video where I made a mess just trying to put the dough into hot oil, and that should have told me to stop right then and there. I was so blessed I had enough common sense to wear long sleeves, get the dogs out of the kitchen, and have a lid right next to me. Thankfully, no one was hurt and the only damage was done to my pride. Unexpectedly, too much moisture hit the hot oil and sprayed into the air, coating everything, including my clothes and hair. The oil cleaned up with a lot of scrubbing, and time aired out the stench of the deep-fried, overcooked bread. I will never be able to show you everything I hope for, and I am so sorry. I will always be here to encourage you, though. Nothing gives me greater joy than hearing from someone that has surpassed my talents. The most rewarding part of this journey has been getting to know all of you. Those that have become regular viewers fast became my friends. I don't need to be rich and famous. I am rich from helping each and every one of you over the past year. Hearing how you have learned how to make bread for the first time, used my recipe to start a business, make macarons that are a work of art, or just tell me stories about your life has been my happiness. Each of you that can no longer bake because of illness, poverty, or life circumstances, but stick around for conversation are so dear to me. When you open up and let me in, sharing your own hopes, fears, dreams, disappointments, and discouragement, I am truly touched. This connection is what makes life worth living. For the past 5 years, we have been in our own little corner of the internet, lifting each other up as we can. Each and every one of you I will cherish forever. Friendships from all over the world I am truly grateful for. When I lost Jackson and I was struggling more than any point in my life, I would think about each of you and how much you've changed me for the better. Jackson's small and mighty spirit should remind us all we have value no matter our limitations. This donut disaster was my defeat, and I have to acknowledge being disabled means I can't do things I want to do. However, this is not the end. As hard as it is to come to terms with the disappointment of my new reality, I wanted to share this with each of you. Just because you can't do one thing anymore, even if it is your dream, it doesn't mean you don't have worth. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to shine in other areas. Each and every one of you that have opened up to me over the years have proven life is precious. Each and every one of you are precious. Each and every one of you has brought me joy. Let us heal together, embrace the struggles that make us human, and continue happy baking.